All right, guys, so I know this is a crazy story, but you've probably been here with me. I was like 7 years old. My friend invited me over to a sleepover. I was super stoked. His name was John. John, if you're hearing this, I'd be surprised, but hey, man, kudos to you for your friendship afterwards. Because I was at his house, but I'm ready for the sleepover, but my brother and my cousins were gonna go the next day paintballing. It was the first time they had ever gone paintballing, and I was like in this, wanted to have a sleepover, wanted to be at my friend's house, didn't want to miss out on what was going on over with my brother and cousins. So I did what any normal like 7-year-old would do. I freaked out at my friend's house, called my parents, and asked to come home. Not the best friend move. Hey, my name is Scott. Welcome to today's Daily Dose. We are unpacking stories from the Mound. And Jesus has this incredible passage where he's teaching with all this authority, and he says this. He says in verse 33 of chapter 5, he says, "Again, you have heard that it was said to those of old, 'You shall not swear falsely, but shall perform to the Lord what you have sworn. But I say to you, do not take an oath at all, either by heaven, for that is the throne of God, or by the earth, for that is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for that is the city of the great king. And do not take an oath by your head, for you cannot make one hair white or black. Let what you say be simply yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil." And the reason why I started with that story is because I was such a two-faced friend. I didn't want to miss out on what I wanted, and I was willing to say yes to a sleepover, but I also wanted to say yes to going paintballing with my cousins and brother. And here's what I learned about myself. My character was awful. As a 7-year-old, but like even going forward, I still struggle because I want and I don't want to displease and I want things to happen. And Jesus is basically saying in this passage, let your character be such that people can take you at your word. That you don't need to say, no, I swear to on my mother's grave that like I'm telling the truth. Like what that says is that you don't have enough character to back up what you're saying, so you're asking someone else or something else to back up your character. My friend John was probably like, and I honestly, that friendship kind of did fall apart. I don't think I ever had a sleepover with him again, and but to be fair, I was crying at his house and wanted to leave, and that doesn't look good. And I say that because there's times when we think like, that it's okay. Like, I know I said this, but like they'll understand, or maybe I'll just compromise. Maybe I'll just say I'm tired, or maybe I'll just say I got stuck in traffic, or like God is such like an important being, and he wants you and I as followers of Jesus to display his character. And here's what we know about God's character. What he says comes to pass. That he's trustworthy and true. And as Christians, as followers of Jesus, we get the privilege of representing him. And so Jesus is saying, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Because when you are a person of integrity, a person of character in that, you are displaying God's faithfulness and his character. So when God says something like he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness, when we profess faith in Jesus, we can trust him. We can trust him. And friends, my prayer for you today, my prayer for you this week, my prayer for myself is that I would be the type of man, the type of person that lives with such integrity that people can trust the things that I say. And guess what? When I come to grips with the reality of like, I'm not that good, I'm not that faithful, my words aren't always backed up the way that I wish they would, in those moments, if you're sitting there and you're like me, that 7-year-old, and you're like, feeling that ickiness about your character, guess what? You bring that to the Lord of the creator of heaven and earth, and he says, I forgive you. I know you're not perfect, but guess what? I am. So lean into me. So either way, God's got us. Man, walk in integrity, and if you're squirming with it, man, bring it to Jesus and trust in His integrity and trust in His character. So it's a win all the way around for us today, and I hope that brings you encouragement today, Dosers. We'll see you next time.